We're going to talk tonight about ab separation, which is a huge, huge issue for so many people. I have so many moms coming to me. And by the way, guys, I'm going to have a Q&A at the end of this, okay? So I've got like two devices going on. Hey, Rebecca, Dina, Robin, Carrie, woohoo, we got a nice full house. So welcome to my studio. Um, some of you have known me for quite some time. I know Robin and I go way back. We've known each other forever. So one of the things that I do for a living, as you know, is I help moms feel confident and beautiful again. Having children does a number on us. I mean, literally, it tears us apart. Okay. We've got, like our abs tear apart, a belly button hernia takes place, our arses get huge. I mean, it's just part of the whole system. However, it's worth it 18 million times over, is it not? So tonight, what I wanted to talk about is ab separation. So I'm constantly getting messages from moms, and they're saying to me, why is it that now hormones come into place too, but we'll get into that in a minute. Why is it that I have this big belly and I look like I'm pregnant and I've had my child like 2 years ago? Like, what's going on? Okay. Number one, if you've never been checked for ab separation, that could be what you have. So you're probably asking yourself, like, what is ab separation? How do we get it? Two ways. One, giving birth. So you've got your rectus abdominis muscles right here, right? We'll call them those six-pack muscles. When you give childbirth, it pushes out on this area, okay? It pushes out. And what happens is your abdominals go boop, they just stretch apart, making room for that baby. And then after you have the baby, guess what happens? Some of you lucky ducks, I was not one of them. Some of you lucky ducks, they go back together. And then most of us just stay like this. So imagine you're on the floor doing planks, doing sit ups, doing all this stuff, only to realize nothing's happening. Actually, you're probably making it worse because here's the ugly truth about ab separation and why you still have a bulge if it's been years later. And you could even be the most fit person. I had a client of mine, I don't know if she's watching tonight, but I had a client of mine come to me. She was like already totally ripped arms, ripped legs, but like she had this like pooch. And she's like, my whole body is so fit, but I feel so unfit because of my belly. So I said, have you ever checked for ab separation? She's like, no. In fact, most of our OBs, I mean, comment below and tell me how many of your OBs like told you, like checked you for ab separation when you went back after the baby and then told you what to do to fix it. I'm just curious. Can you guys give me some comments below and let me know? I would be really, really like to know if that actually, if any of you had that, because mine, like I didn't really, wasn't given that that advice from an OB to say, oh, hey, by the way, you're going to have ab separation. If you don't do these particular exercises, then your belly's never going to look the same. And in fact, you can get hernia, belly button hernia, which I have, if you go into rigorous activities too fast after childbirth. So yeah, see, exactly. I got a bunch of people that just responded no. Yeah. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to check you for ab separation. Okay. But before we do that, I'm going to have everyone lie down. We're going to lie down together. I want to show you something, something. Let me share my screen with you. Okay. I want to show you a little something here. So I'm going to go down to a presentation that I've given before. So I'm showing you guys my screen here. Okay. So here's the ugly truth, right? Check this out. 87% of women still have baby bulge 12 months postpartum. 87% a year later still look pregnant. No, like, no, God, no, go away already, right? Like, we already had the baby. 43% of moms gain more than the recommended 35 pounds, right? I think that was me. I was like 50 something pounds, like with both my kids. And then 64% of all moms, check this out, 64% are not happy with their body image after baby. That sucks. Like, let's just say it, like, that stinks, right? So let's talk about what ab separation looks like, guys. Okay. So, and then we're going to go down, we're going to check you guys all for it. You guys all in? Okay, cool. So just to let you know, if you look here, okay, this is normal. You see my cursor? This is a normal belly. Now, having a little bit of space is normal. And I'm going to tell you what's abnormal in a minute. But when someone's super heavy and loses weight, they can get this too, because if you're really obese, this goes for men that can't get six packs after they've been really morbidly obese. It pushes the belly out. So obese people can get this too, but people get it in different spots. The most common spot is usually this. It's right around the belly button area, but some people get it lower over here. Some people get it up here. And then some people get it all the way up, which that really stinks. You know, this is what I had right here. Okay. And I didn't know about this when I had my first child. And in fact, it causes hernia because here's your belly button, right? I went right into teaching insanity classes, which is what I first started teaching, like, 2012. And I went right into teaching it. And my belly button, I got hernia popped right through. I still have it, haven't gotten it fixed, but I did manage to pretty much close my gap after both kids, with the exception of that little hernia there. So this was really important to know. Okay, this is called diastasis recti. That's the actual name for it. So I just say ab separation because it's a little bit easier to endure. But here's the cool thing about ab separation too. When you're healing your ab separation, so when I'm working one-on-one with a client and I'm healing their separation, I'm also restoring their pelvic floor. So you know the whole achoo, oops, just peed, that whole thing. Well, these work simultaneously. So when you're working the transverse muscles that we'll get into in a minute, you also work the pelvic floor. So you strengthen that. So you're not wearing Depends when you get older or having to get a surgery to lift up your bladder. So going on, okay, these are the exercises that actually make ab separation worse. You do not want to do this. So twisting movement, right? Like Russian twists, planks, sit-ups, push-ups, burpees isn't in here, but burpees, crunches. So you're probably like, well, what the F am I supposed to do? It's abs. Wrong. Okay. Let me show you something. Check me out at the height of my ab separation. That's me. Ew. I don't think my teeth are brushed here, and that's definitely my morning face. So I'm totally being vulnerable in front of you right now. Okay, that's ugly. But this is like way after the baby. This has got to be like, this is, I don't even know how long after the baby, but there's no baby in there. Okay. And you can just see the bulge, right? Because my abs are totally like, okay. And I started my journey. All right, we'll go to the next page. Oh, my computer's freezing. Sorry about that. But going to the next page. Okay, so starting my journey here. So here's week 1. Now, I developed a program that brings ab muscles back together. So in order to do this, you have to do a certain type of exercise called transverse abdominal exercises, which I'm going to get to in a second. So here's week 1 on my program. Here's week 2. And you can see the weeks, see how the belly starts to go in, then all of a sudden, look, yay, they're back together. And I have that little line down the center. Took me 8 weeks. Okay. No exercise, just walking and just transverse abdominals. Okay. Here's another picture too. That's from the beginning. And then that was about 4 or 5 months later. Okay. So I just wanted to show you some proof. Okay, just a little proof there. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Okay, so now hopefully I got your attention and you're like, okay, now tell me what to do. I will, chill. Just kidding. So talking to myself, it's kind of funny. Anyway, so the transverse guys. So here's your rectus abdominis. Okay, here's your obliques. Your transverse muscles are right behind here, right behind the oblique. So it's technically like a side muscle and it's right behind. Okay. So think about it. If they're back here and you work them, what happens? They push. They push. So what happens? Your waist comes in, everything comes in. Now, what happens if you do a regular sit-up? What muscles are being worked when you do this? Anyone guess? Go ahead. Give me a little shout out in the messages there. Go ahead. Let's see. When you're doing a regular crunch, which abdominal muscles are getting worked? I'm looking. Yes, rectus. But what happens if you have ab separation? you're pushing out the rectus, and guess what it's doing? It's pushing out the separation and tearing it more. That's why planking and anything that puts pressure on these muscles right here is going to make the situation worse. So what we need to do is work the muscles behind those oblique muscles specifically, and not these muscles, in order to get that smaller waist and to bring everything in, get that nice line down the center again. All right, so let's do it. Who's ready to hit the floor and check themselves for abs separation? And I want to know who felt something. So let me show you what we're going to do first. I'm going to get my mat. We're going to go on the floor. Before I do that, I want to explain something. The way we're going to judge the ab separation is two ways. First way is by fingers. Now, I know this looks gross. Dirty minds, don't be disgusting. So you have two fingers, okay? Two fingers or three. You're going to be judging in between. We're going to be lying down, or we're going to be getting our two fingers. See how I have two fingers here? You might be three. I don't know. Maybe you're one, but you're going to start at the sternum, and you're going to try to figure out how wide, if you even have a gap, how wide the gap is between these two muscles. So if I was to get here and go like this all the way down, and you almost want to knead it, you want to knead it like you're kneading dough. And once you get to a spot where you feel like a little hole or a little gap, you want to know, how wide is it? Is it 2 fingers wide? Is it 1? Is it 3? And where do you feel it? So that's the first thing we're going to be judging. Second thing is depth. We want to know how deep it is. So if you look at your finger, you know how you have these little lines? Here's 1 line, 2, 3. We're going to judge how many lines deep, if you have it, and where it is. Are you with me? Yeah? Okay. All right. Top. Oh, I got top. Hi, Kim. What's up, girl? All right. So let's do this. Let's do this together. I'm going to go like this with my camera, and hopefully my camera doesn't fall. I'm going to do like that. We're all going to hit the floor. You ready? All right, girls, everyone hit the floor. Let's lie down together. Are you ready? We're going to all lie down. Let me show you how to do it. So let's lie down. Are you ready? Okay, so this is what I want you to do. I want everyone to lie down on your back. Okay, and you're going to put your feet up just like this. And we're going to take our head, and we're just going to lift the head only, just the head. Now take those 2 fingers, start at the sternum, start to work your way down, lift, just tuck that chin under, and go all the way down. And if you start to feel an opening, you need to see, hey, how wide, how deep. So I want everyone to go ahead and do that. And once you do that, I want you to come up, and I want you to text in my phone, on the screen. I want to see on my phone who felt a separation and how many fingers, deep or wide, you felt. So I'm going to let you guys do your thing, and then I'm going to take a peek and see what's going on here. All right, let's do it. So I've got one person that's got it on the top. Okay, so she's got it on the top. Yep. Who else, guys? Anyone else? So here's the thing. Now you're probably saying, okay, I've checked. Okay, so while you guys are all kneading your bellies right now. So here's the thing. If you have more than a finger, you have ab separation. Having a little bit, having a depth of this big is considered normal. Okay. And considering one finger, a little small one finger is okay. That's considered normal. But if you're more than a finger, you're 2 fingers or more, you definitely need to correct that without a doubt. Let's see, right below belly button, maybe 1 to 2 fingers. Yeah. So you, Carrie, yeah, you definitely have a little bit of separation going on. So you got to do my transverse workout in my on-demand program. Yeah. And yeah, definitely. Let's see, Masha, top above belly button, 1.5. That's actually not it. Yeah, that's definitely needs to be corrected without a doubt. Yeah, that's, you almost want, if you're just a finger, like it's just barely a finger, that's normal. If you're like over a finger, you need to correct that. Yeah. So now what do you do? what exercises you do. Let me just give you some examples of some transverse exercises since we're here. One of the best exercises you can do. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you just do this by yourself every day, I'm not going to promise you're going to get results. You should have a plan. Okay, you should have a plan. All right, without a doubt. You can also have a call with me and we can talk about a plan for you. Okay, obviously, this is what I do. Okay, but I'm just going to show you some examples. So we have something called a vacuum. These are how gentle these exercises are. So a vacuum is when I'm going to let my abdominals out and then I'm going to pull them in. Okay, and then pick up your pelvic floor. Do you know what that means? Do you know when you Kegel and you kind of Kegel it in, you get your, you know what, your you like lift it up, kind of like you're Kegeling. So you pick up the pelvic floor and then in. And then what you're going to do is you're going to release and then in. Tight, 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 hold, pick up the pelvic floor, release. Again, hold, in. I hope you guys are doing this with me. I'm not the only crazy person here. Release. Okay, in, hold, and release. Okay, again, in, hold, and then release. So do you feel that? It's not your typical exercise, right? It's not your typical exercise, but these are the types of exercises you want to be doing like every day. Okay. In my program, I have a 20-minute workout, different workout every week that you will do. And on average, I see results anywhere between 4 to 8 weeks. It took me 8 weeks. Some clients take 4, some clients take 6. So that's everything in a nutshell. Without, being repetitive, this could be the reason why you have mommy bulge. And I do highly recommend that if you do have this, you talk to someone such as myself that actually is trained and skilled on how to help someone. You could go on an actual plan, on a program. Honestly, trying to do it on your own, between the motivation and the accountability, it's probably going to be tough because they're not the most like exciting exercises to do, but they're therapeutic, they're relaxing, and they work if you have the right program. Okay. So girls, I'm going to open this up for a Q&A. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. I have another person right above belly button, one finger. Yeah. So one finger is not too bad. It's when it's like a little bit more than one finger. Okay. But they consider a little like a finger is not too bad. Okay. Not too bad. It's considered normal. You just got to really be careful about certain exercises so you don't make it worse, but feel free to give me any questions. I'm going to put a link in here, guys. So if any of you would like to book a call with me and talk to me about fitness goals, something you're struggling with that, you feel like you just really could use help, I'm going to put in my booking link here in the comments. You guys can book a call with me if you'd like a consultation and talk about a plan and something for you that's custom for you. Okay. Everything I do is online. I train people all over the United States. I have clients in Oregon. I have clients in Alabama. I have clients in Florida. So everything's online. Going to a PT is great, but you do have to drive there. Not always convenient. So girls, I'm going to ask you again if you have any questions. I'm going to give you another minute to let me know. And you can ask me a question on anything. Okay, anything you want to know. Now, while I'm waiting for questions to come in, because I know there's a little delay with Zoom. The other thing to remember when it comes to belly fat, if you are entering into your 50s, okay, if you're 48, venturing into your 50s, here's another big thing. Hormones. If you are starting to go into menopause, okay, you're going to be getting something called menopause belly. That's something different. What happens with menopause belly? So if you're on here and you're like, I don't have ab separation, but my abs are like, I'm gaining really weird weight in my back and in my front. That's a menopausal thing, and that's due to a lack of estrogen. So estrogen is our sexy hormone. This is what keeps us sexy. I call it our sexy hormone. When we lose estrogen, it's like a man losing testosterone. What happens to a man when he starts to lose testosterone? they slow down sexually, number one, right? They even start to get like some men, if they get overweight, they start to get boobs, right? They start to get more like a woman. Well, girls will start gaining weight more like a man. They start getting like gaining weight in their belly, which is not usually where women gain weight, or in their back. So it's hormonal. So it's something like that. I would put someone on a high estrogen diet, for example. So foods to bring in estrogen for the estrogen that's being lost. So that's a whole different thing. So again, if you're struggling with hormonal imbalance, whatnot, definitely talk to me. Stop struggling on your own. Like there's no point and struggling on your own. It's never really you're never gonna get it fixed if you just don't do it right the first time. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, girls. Well, I hope that was super helpful. I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight. It's 9:30. I always like to keep these under a half hour. I hope this was super helpful for you. Okay. I hope that you reach out to me if you need help. This is what my passion is, what I love to do is help you feel confident and beautiful again. Okay. Because you deserve it. You created a life, God damn it. You deserve to feel beautiful. Okay. Guys, thank you and have an awesome night. Take care.